tell y'all, I'm a very cautious driver, right? The other day I was coming down a residential area. I know not to speed in residential areas. Hold on, because my screen look, yeah. Okay, so I know not to speed in a residential area. Yes, I know this is standing up. Mind your business. Anyways, there was two Chargers that were racing in front of me because I had been behind them for a while. So on this residential area, I was hoping that they turned off when they passed the cop. I'm guessing the cop wasn't paying attention, and just so happened when the last Charger passed his car, I was behind him, but I wasn't speeding, so it docked me at going 55 and 35 when I know for a fact I was not doing 55. Now, when I passed him and I saw him pull out with the lights, I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's gonna be some shit. So I see him light up his lights, I automatically pull over. First question he's asked, I say, yes, sir. No, sir. You know, keeping it very respectful because that's how I was raised up. Y'all, when I tell you this officer looked at me like he was confused because I answered with a yes, sir. He was like, what did you say? I said, yes, sir, I have my insurance. He was just like basically shocked that I was being respectful. I don't know, what type of people these cops interact with every day, but the fact that I said yes, sir, and I'm only 29 kind of threw him off. He was just gonna be confused the entire time. And he was like, well, just stay right here. I'm gonna go, check your information. I'll come back. And then he came back. He was like, I'm gonna cite you for going 55 and a 35. Mind y'all, I know I wasn't going 55 and a 35 because I've never did that type of speed in a residential area where there were children outside playing and it was a bus of traffic. I know it wasn't me. Was I finna go back and forth with this officer on who it was? Fuck no. I looked straight at that man's belt and saw his weapon. Nope, I'm not dumb. I'm not finna be one of the ones or a stereotype where all you had to do was just comply. But, he was very respectful. He was very sweet. He was very kind to me. I just feel like there are ways to leave a officer's presence without going in handcuffs, without being maced, without being tased, and without being took out the car. If you were brought up with parents that taught you the rules when you interact with a cop, then you should know what to do. Common sense is not common for some people. And when I tell y'all, it brought me satisfaction to see that when I pulled out that Charger that was in front of me that was speeding, it was so satisfactory to see him pulled over like a mile down the road. It was a state trooper. I said, well, damn, if that state trooper was only right there and caught him when he passed me, because a city cop stopped me, not a state trooper. I also know that if a state trooper stop you and they got to give you a ticket and they got to get out in the rain, heat, or snow, they're going to be pissed. But anyways, that was just my little rant. Y'all have a great rest of your day.